consider myself to be an optimist. I like to remain positive, optimistic. I always try to find the good in any situation. I even try to find the good in most people. And I say most because there are just some people that don't possess any redeeming qualities. Someone like Keith Olbermann, for example. Is there a person living in America that can find anything redeemable about Keith Olbermann? The guy is the most miserable person on the planet. In the last 10 years, I don't think I have seen Keith Olbermann smile. He's never been photographed with a woman that wasn't related to him or paid to stand next to him. But I have a solution to his problem. I have a solution to his drought. Keith Olbermann should get married to Joy Reid. What do you get when the most miserable man in America procreates with the most evil woman in America? Satan. I can't find anything positive to say about Keith Olbermann or Joy Reid. I shit on a lot of people here on the channel, but even with the people that I shit on that I disagree with, the people we make fun of, I can usually find something positive about them. When I talk about Bomani Jones, I usually mention how intelligent he is. I have said before that Jemele Hill is a talented writer. Even though I am a glass half full kind of guy, there is a limit to my positivity. I still prefer to live my life based in reality. If I was running a business, let's say I owned a restaurant, and my restaurant was losing thousands of dollars every month. One of my managers was accused of harassment. I had the seating capacity to sit 100 customers during lunch and dinner, and I only sit between 20 or 30. I'm not going to look at my restaurant, I'm not going to look at my business and say, I think it would be a great idea if we expand. We should open a second location. I can't even get my first location to succeed. Why in the fuck would I want to lose more money by opening another location that is destined for failure? I might be positive, I ain't that positive. The concept of positive thinking, it's something that I actually have in common with the NWSL. Several weeks ago, the NWSL, they hired Jessica Berman as their new commissioner. Like me, Jessica Berman, glass half full kind of person. Where we differ though, Jessica Berman clearly is not living in reality. She started her role as commissioner on April 20th. Like most who are starting a new job, Jessica Berman, she wants to make an immediate impact. Now with a dump like the NWSL, there are plenty of ways to make an impact. There are plenty of things to improve on. You could start by figuring out how to market your players. Megan Rapinoe has become a household name by pushing a bunch of propaganda that no one with a functioning brain believes. But either way, Megan Rapinoe is still a household name. Most people don't know that she plays in the NWSL. Hell, some might not even know that Megan Rapinoe is a soccer player. You show them a picture of Megan Rapinoe and they say, "Oh yeah, I know her. That's that purple dragon who is a passionate follower of Christ. Every time I see her, she is on her knees praying." So Jessica Berman, she can improve the league by better marketing her players, increasing brand awareness. Did you know, based solely on television ratings, that the NWSL is actually more popular than the WNBA? I didn't know that. I didn't know that until today. The reason we don't know, the NWSL has no brand awareness. Their woke friends in the mainstream media, they completely ignore this league. Jessica Berman, she could work to improve their relationship with the media. The point is, there are plenty of ways, there are plenty of things she could do in her first few weeks as commissioner to improve the NWSL. But Jessica Berman, she has far bigger dreams. The princess of positivity. She has a vision. She knows exactly what the NWSL needs to experience unprecedented growth. Speaking at a media summit last week in New York City, Jessica Berman announced, "The time is now for the NWSL to expand. We are actively looking to add more teams." Excuse me? Add more teams? You want to add teams to this fucking league? I know the woke live in a world of delusion, I know they live in this perfect utopian world, but in what world would anyone think it's a good idea to expand a league that's on the brink of death? Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this the same league that was seriously considering shutting down just 6 or 7 months ago? During the off season in the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, people talk about trades, they talk about free agency, they talk about the draft, they talk about the upcoming season. During the NWSL off season, they talk about whether or not it's worth losing another few $1,000,000 to keep this turd afloat. Where in the fuck did this idea of expansion come from? Where did this sudden burst of optimism come from? I'll tell you. Angel City FC, the new NWSL team in Los Angeles, which I believe it was founded by Natalie Portman. When the regular season started at the end of April, Angel City FC, they sold out their first home game. That one game alone boosted attendance at NWSL games that weekend to over 10,000 a game. Now this set the setting for the league and their few friends in the mainstream media to immediately coordinate a woke circle jerk. It was hand lotion all around. We finally sold out a game. We're on the road to success. People finally give a shit about us. Calm down, ESPNW. This league is still a dump. I pulled attendance records for the first couple of weeks of the NWSL season. From game 1 to game 2, Angel City FC saw a decline of 6,000. But hey, credit where credit's due, they still drew a good number. The Portland Thorns, they have always drawn decent-sized crowds for the NWSL. But if you take out those top 2 teams and you look at attendance for the rest of the league, the numbers ain't good. Average attendance is 5,800 a game, which at most of these stadiums, about 25% capacity. Our favorite Purple Dragon, Megan Rapinoe, she plays up in Seattle. You know who I'm talking about. The same Megan Rapinoe that the mainstream media claims is the face of women's soccer. Oh, Megan Rapinoe is so popular. She is an influencer, damn it. The Rowdy Rapinoes, they play at Lumen Field, home of the Seattle Seahawks, also home of the Seattle Sounders, the MLS team. Last Tuesday, the Sounders, they drew over 68,000 people to one of their games. But for the Rowdy Rapinoes, those standards are far too high. They had to set the bar a little bit lower. Even though Megan Rapinoe has millions of followers on social media, even though she is supposedly an influencer, it's been consistently proven she can't draw flies to shit. They reduced capacity at Lumen Field to 10,000 seats for Meg. For some reason, she's only been able to convince 4,400 people to come watch her purple hair blow in the wind as she runs up and down the field. Back in January, the NWSL and its players, they agreed to the first ever collective bargaining agreement. Last summer, players were whining and complaining that they had to have real jobs in the offseason because the NWSL salaries were so low. It raised the minimum salary to $35,000 a season. It also gave the players additional perks, 42 days of holiday pay, which, if I'm doing my math correctly, amounts to 6 weeks of paid vacation. On top of that, during the middle of the season, NWSL players, they are given a 7-day, what they call summer break. Because they have it so hard from May to July, they need an additional week off during the summer. They also get 6 months of mental health leave. Well, all this is fine. This is all well and good. I'm all about people getting everything that they can in negotiations. But I just have one question. Who's fucking paying for all this? The reason NWSL salaries were so low, they didn't have any money. The WNBA is heavily subsidized. The WNBA, heavily promoted by the media. They still can't generate a profit. Who's paying for this in the NWSL? The new CBA, it brought the average compensation in the league to $54,000 a year. There are 189 players in the NWSL, which means it costs over $10 million every year just to pay the players. Last year, the NWSL, they drew 480,000 fans to their games across the league. At an average cost of about $15 a ticket, Ticket revenue is just over $7 million. Their TV rights deal is worth $1.5 million. Now, if I'm doing my math correctly, that leaves them with a $2 million deficit. Now, this doesn't count the salaries of coaches, staff at the stadium, general managers, maintenance crews. This league's losing millions of dollars every year. And you're talking about expansion because you sold out one fucking game? Jessica Berman, she doesn't want to just add one team. She wants to add 2 new teams. And I go back to my original question. Who's paying for this? Where's the money coming from? I tried to find the financials of the NWSL. I searched the internet for about 30 minutes today. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find if they were being subsidized by woke corporations like what we see in the WNBA. Either way, it doesn't matter. It makes absolutely zero sense to even be talking about an expansion. It's great the NWSL finally, in 10 years, they finally sold out one game. But it was a new team in a brand new market. Eventually, the novelty factor wears off. You already saw it wear off with the attendance decline of 6,000 people for their second game. Maybe, just maybe, they should be figuring out a way to make it through the season instead of looking at expansion. But what the hell do I know? Well, let me know what you think. Should the NWSL be expanding? Maybe you guys know something that I don't know. How in the hell does this league afford to remain in existence? If you know, let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.